Welcome to Reddit After Hours. This is r/TrueOffMyChest, where a 12-year-old girl gets tricked into thinking that she's going to a youth camp, but ends up going to a tent city. Our first Reddit post comes from MomoF41991, titled, "My daughter signed up for church camp and they took her to a Houston tent city instead." This summer, my 12-year-old daughter used her birthday money to attend what was averaged as a church youth camp, a fun, spiritually focused week with a beach day, games, fellowship, and light community service at a local food bank. Instead, they took her to a tent city in Houston, Texas. They went back 3 days in a row. All the fun activities were canceled. Before they left, I specifically asked the youth pastor, "You aren't going to have my daughter under a bridge handing out tracts to homeless people, right?" He reassured me that would not happen, that they would be working at a food bank for a few hours and spending the rest of the time having fun. That was a lie. In his own sermon, the youth pastor admitted they had nothing prepared. He said he Googled where to find the homeless people and took 75 kids straight there. His words, quote, "We just invaded their space." He described letting the kids split into groups of 3 or 4 and scatter throughout the tent city. Only 3 adults accompanied them, while the other 5 stayed behind to serve food. He admitted to waking up a woman high on meth in front of the kids. He detailed how the kids were uncomfortable, scared, and did not want to return. He spiritually guilted them into going back. When I confronted him after the sermon and told him that he put my daughter in a dangerous situation, his response was, yes, I did. His justification was, quote, "God led me." When I told him that he owed her a refund, he looked at me like I was crazy and said, "Why would I do that?" It was only after the senior pastor intervened that she was refunded. No apology, no accountability, just, quote, "She came back in one piece." I ended up sending a certified letter asking for the situation to be formally addressed by leadership. They signed for it, and no one responded for weeks. So I contacted a local reporter. She seemed horrified, told me that it was disgusting, called him delusional, said she obviously wanted to cover it and to keep in touch. She called the church asking questions. The senior pastor told her that she should tread lightly because she did not know all the facts. The very next day, a different local newspaper ran a fluff piece praising the trip. The reporter that I was speaking to acknowledged that they were trying to spin the story, and then, strangely, went silent. Not even a reply to my follow-up email. Since then, the church deleted the youth pastor's sermon on Facebook. I have a screenshot and recorded, though. And now the youth pastor is planning/pushing another trip to Honduras this fall. Here is what makes this more concerning. The youth pastor is also president of the county school board, a former police officer who served 12 years, a coach for softball and volleyball, and very involved in cheer. His wife, who also went on this trip, is a principal of a public school. And yet, with all of that, he still lied to parents and took minors into a dangerous environment with no preparation, no consent, and no plan. I haven't named names yet because I'm not looking to stir up drama. I'm trying to process what happened and figure out what to do about it. If I stay silent, I feel like I'm allowing it to happen again to someone else's child. That has got to be one of the most irresponsible, dangerous things that he possibly could have done with those children. I'm literally lost for words. I'm glad you're doing something about it, OP, and bringing light to it, because that is just, this person should never, ever be trusted around children ever again. Our next Reddit post comes from Think About It, My Guy, titled, "I left my date on the side of the road." So I, a 22-year-old female, went on a date with a man who was 31 that I met on Hinge. We chatted for a few days beforehand, and he bragged about the fun things we were going to do and the nice car that he was going to pick me up in. On the day of the date, he told me that his car, an Audi A5, was in the shop and that he had to pick me up in his brother's car, which ended up being a beat-up Saab with spray paint and stickers all over it. I decided to just drive my own car. I met him at our first location, which was the museum. At the counter, he pulled out his EBT card so that we could get in for free, which was shocking. He told me that he was an electrical engineer, so how would he qualify for EBT? The date actually kind of goes okay, and we leave the museum and decide to drive in my car to the next location. The second he sees my car, he starts laughing and acting strange. I ask him what's funny, but he brushes me off. We drive from the museum to the second location. About 5 minutes into the drive, he asks if the car we were driving is mine. I tell him it is and that it was a gift. He laughs and says, I would have respectfully declined. Nissan Altimas are one of the most low-quality cars on the market. I didn't really know what to say after that. I have a 2021 Nissan Altima that I inherited after my mom died. He then says that the girly seat cover doesn't help and that I should go for an all black look. I tell him that they're my mom's seat covers. He already knew that she died recently, for context. He then says, I'm not sure why that matters. It doesn't look good. I started getting a little pissed, and then I ask about his Audi and if he has any pics of it. He gets super defensive and continues to talk bad about my car. So I pull over and tell him to get out. He's somehow shocked, but he gets out. I'm not sure if I overreacted, but it felt like he lied about his job and his car and maybe felt insecure when he saw mine. Let me know what you think down in the comments, but I absolutely think that's what's going on. I think he lied about everything, and when he saw that you are actually, kind of self-sufficient on your own and you have your own things, he felt super insecure and was trying to make you feel probably as bad as he did. You are definitely better off leaving this one on the side of the road, OP. Our next Reddit post comes from KKitty9218, titled, I did the one thing you don't do with a stranger on a dating app, and now I regret it. So, a week ago, I met a guy on a dating app. He was only visiting my town for a bit, and it happened to be his last day. We matched on Tinder, and I thought it was way too good to be true because he was super attractive. And while I love myself, I don't think I'm objectively attractive. So I'm thinking that I'm probably about to be punked or unalived. We chat for a bit and the vibes are vibing and we're locking things down. I don't get any weirdo vibes and the guy closes and I know the area, so I'm a risk it for the brisket. Long story short, this beautiful man takes me back to his hotel and makes my toes curl and my eyes roll back. Not once, but twice. It's been a while since I've been that happy, and he seemed to enjoy himself too because he went in for seconds. He was really cool, kind, understanding, and fun. Kind of nerdy, my favorite, and he likes animals. We chatted, and maybe it was just me, but I could listen to him forever. I had a really good time in between the passionate hugging. I was almost sad when he dropped me off. He even indulged my fat butt and bought me food. I brought my wallet to pay and everything, but I gave him my number. But Tinder deletes people after a few days. Not that it matters, because I've been so stuck on him that I haven't wanted to go back on the app anyway. The number one rule of hookups is don't get attached, and I sadly broke that rule. Now I'm suffering and constantly putting myself down to numb the pain of having cared at all. Now I'm on the floor of my apartment typing this out, feeling like an idiot because he's probably not even thinking about me at all. And edit, my phone was pinging into the night after I posted this, so I thought I'd make an edit. First and foremost, yes, I know he unmatched me. Our next Reddit post comes from Adorable Plum 3580, titled, "My mother cares more about Disney World than her family, and now we're gonna lose the house next week." My mom has always been selfish, but in the past 5 years, things have gotten bad. She says that Disney is her happy place and she wants to be a Disney influencer. She has no charisma or any quality content. She spends weeks at a time there ignoring my siblings and I, pleading for her to listen for once and to put her own needs to the side for us. I've been getting calls and texts for months about the house being sold, which I just ignored because I assumed they were scams. But I called my dad today and he told me the truth. She won't listen to anything that anyone says about trying to save money. She can't hold down a job. She only does things to make her happy, not her kids or her husband. My father has been wanting to unalive himself for as long as I can remember. His life is miserable. No love from her. I just want to make him happy, but I can't, and I'm scared. He has nothing left to lose once my youngest sister graduates next year. I've dreamt of having that house for its location one day. I was talking to my sister a few months ago about how one day I want that land to develop, but that won't ever happen now. My mom spends tens of thousands of dollars that she doesn't have. She won't accept a divorce. My father brought up bankruptcy so they won't be left on the street, but her concern was losing her Disney timeshare that she bought without his knowledge. He just works and is forced to care for her and her dogs that she leaves at home all day while she does God knows what. I don't think I can do anything as I'm only in my early 20s, and where the hell am I going to get $400K from? She won't talk to me about anything like that whenever I try to anyway. She just goes silent while I try to reason with her, but nothing ever works. And then we have a quick update from OP. She types, "I can't do this without breaking down. My dad said that he and my sister have to be out by the end of the month, July 31st. I came over today to see if there's anything that I can salvage, but the house is a mess. My mom's hoarding has made the house unlivable many times, but the fact she just left her garbage and stuff all over the house, it's so overwhelming. I don't know if I'll be able to salvage anything from my childhood. My dad doesn't want to go through anything because he's so exhausted. I just want my memories. I doubt that I'll even be able to find my yearbooks, memory cards, or anything really. I wish I had the money to hire a professional to help go through the stuff so I can find my sentimentals. When I was a kid, I always thought that I'd be able to find things if we ever move that I lost because we'd have to clean the entire house, but now I've lost hope. I'm just so depressed and tired. I feel like my entire childhood is being thrown in the garbage. None of my friends answered when I asked for help with the sorting. I know a lot of it is garbage, but there are things that matter to me that I'll never see again. My home is gone. I feel trapped in a never-ending cycle that I will be just like my mom. I just want the pain to stop. I just want to have my family back and be happy together. I've cried so many times over this that I'm barely making progress on sorting. My mom found an apartment, but she's not letting my dad live there, so he and my sister are on their own. That is an absolutely horrible position to have to be in, OP. I'm so sorry you have to deal with that. And like, how does that even make sense? She won't give your dad a divorce, but she also won't let your dad live with her or your sister. That's just cruel on top of everything else that she's doing. Maybe she's sick, maybe, she needs help and all, but still, it doesn't make anything she's doing any better. That was Reddit After Hours, bringing you r/TrueOffMyChest. Thank you all so much for listening, and if you like this video, like and subscribe for more Reddit content.